Hi everybody, this is Chris from StampingBugsCards.com, and this is a project that I have for you today. It's a little clutch purse. It takes just one sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock, and there's no gluing and not much measuring. So on the inside it holds, I have 4 note cards. I think maybe you could get 12 in there, or not 12, but 6, and 6 envelopes. And I did this one in a retired paper that's called Back to Black, but if you can stick with me to the end, I will show you one that I did with the new Floral Boutique paper, which is also beautiful. And so the first thing I want to do is to show you how to make the clutch, so let's start with that. And what you'll need is a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and I'm using this one. And you need to decide which is going to be the basic part of your purse and which will be the flap. And for the basic part of my purse, I'm going to use the same as this one. And so what you do is you start with the part you want as your basic bag down, and then you're going to bring it up, and you're going to put your corners together like a triangle and hold that down, and then you're going to crease that right across. And then next you're going to bring this part of the paper up, and if you just start moving it, and you're going to bring it up about 3/4 of an inch, half an inch, somewhere in there, and it just kind of starts doing it on its own. And then you're just gonna crease it across there, give it a good crease with your bone folder, and then you're gonna open it up. And this paper I know is hard to see, so I did one on a piece of the white paper, which I thought you might be able to see better. After you've done this part, you will see that you have 3 score lines, and what you want to do is get this center score line. The points are going to go to the center on that center score line. And the way I found the center, which this is really the only measuring I did, was I brought my pieces together at the corner, and then I just kind of pinched it down here, so I knew where to bring in my points. So you're going to bring each point into that crease that you just made, and you want to make sure it's on that center line. So again, you're bringing this point, keeping it on the center line, and bringing it right to the center to meet the other triangle. And then you're going to bring this center, the center score line, you're going to bring it up, and then you're going to, actually we'll do it this way and take it down, and then you're going to bring the 2 sides up, so you actually have like an M. You have a valley fold and then 2 mountain folds. And you're going to just make sure that's all lined up good, and then you're going to give that a good crease. And go right up the sides with it. Just like that. And then our next step is to just bring one of our flaps down, and this part is actually your personal preference, how far you want it to go down. So I just look at it, decide that's good, then I flip it over and I bring this down, try to get it about the same without getting my head in the camera. And that looks pretty good. And you give that a good crease. And that actually is your clutch. That's all there is to it. So nice, so fun, and I love that I can use my retired paper. So next I will show you how to do the note cards that go inside of it. So for the note cards that go inside of the little clutch, I used these note cards that you can get from Stampin' Up. You get 20 of them, and they come with the envelopes, and they're only $6. You can also get them in the crumb cake, and they are so handy to have. I always make sure I have some around. So I used these, but I didn't use them like this. I wanted the envelopes mostly. So what I did was I made, pick it up, I made a piece of black cardstock into the note card size. So for the note card, you need a piece that's 7 by 5, and then you score it at 3.5. And that will give you the size of what the normal note card size is. And that's what I did with the black. And then for the note cards, I just cut the very end off. So I put it in and I cut it at 4 3/4, and then each side I cut at 3 1/4. So I would cut this side, and then I turned it around and cut this side at 4 3/4, and you just end up with the very center left over. And so I used those as the pieces that I put on my black cardstock, so for the outside and the inside. And then I had my envelopes to go with it, and it actually gives it a little bit more class than just using the white. So that's really a nice look, and I will show you. I'm just going to do a couple cards with you to show you how I did it. And with the cardstock, or the designer series paper, I just cut up pieces, and I had scraps that I could use, which is another neat thing about these note cards, is you can use up your scraps. But if I had a dark bottom, then I would try to use a piece of lighter cardstock on the top. Or if I had a lighter bottom, then I would use one of the darker ones on top. And see how you can mix and match your pieces, and it's really fun. And also what I liked was I could use my washi tape with this set. So let's go ahead and make a card. So first I'm going to do some stamping, and I'm going to use this stamp set, Flourishing Phrases, and I'm going to use this stamp set, and I'm going to use the sentiments in this one. And I tried using the Memento ink so I didn't stain my rubber stamp, but it didn't come out as dark as I wanted. And I find if you make your stamp twist like that it works better. It gets more ink on it. So I put my flower up at the top, and then because it's a big stamp, I hold it down quite strong, and I let the ink soak in for a few seconds. And it turns out beautiful. So I'll go ahead and stamp my next one. When it's such a solid stamp like this, it's easier to have your ink pad upside down so you can see exactly how you've inked it. And again, I just took it up to the top, and then I'll hold it down, let it soak in a little bit, and another beautiful image. Oops. And while we're at it, I think I'll do the sentiments right now too. Make sure I have my stamp going the right way. It's a little crooked, but for the sake of the video, we'll go with it. And that one is a happy birthday, and it came out of this stamp set, Happy Happenings. And the next one is also from the Flourishing Phrases, and it's this hello down here. Okay. So, now I'm going to add my designer paper. And what I did when I made up a bunch of these for our Glitter Queen retreat, and I made them for 6 ladies. So I just had a bunch of papers cut, and I would just grab them and put them together as I liked them, and it went quite fast. So I'll just stick that down there. I like to pick it up and make sure that my edges are even. That looks good. Then I'm going to put the dark one on the other side. There we go. And then for this one, I'm going to use washi tape. And I'm just going to pull it out. And I like to get it lined up with my grid paper to help me get this lined up straight. And then what this all I have to do is fold it over, which is really nice. And for this one, I'm going to use this one right here. I almost lost it. I'm going to use this lighter one on top. And if you stamp your sentiment first, that helps because you can see how much room you have for how far down you want your designer paper to go. Okay, and then for one of them I did this pretty silver ribbon that's in the new holiday catalog, just to give it a little bit of bling and fun to it. And just put some snail on the back. There's that. And with this one, I would have put some of this silver 1/8 inch silver ribbon that's in the annual catalog. But I ran out, and I didn't want to not do the video and wait for the ribbon to come, so we'll just pretend it's there. I'm just going to switch this one out with it, and we'll do this one. Make sure my card is opening right. Then we'll add some bling. I used one of the bigger ones for the center since the flower is kind of big. And then I took the other half of the note card, and for the inside I just took the washi tape again used my grid paper to help line it up, wrapped it around, and then I just glued this onto the inside. And that's how easy it is to make the note cards. So I'll bring in the other ones. Also for the envelopes, I just put some washi tape along the edge, and then I trimmed off the ends so that it's nice and straight. So I did my envelopes like that. And I did a thank you. You see, I did a happy birthday, which... So here are our 4 cards. And we'll put them in our little clutch. And I just put 2 on each side. Like I say, I think maybe you could get actually 3 on each side. And they just slip right in there so nice. So that's how they go. And next I will show you how we put our clasp on, and we'll finish off the front of our purse. So for the outside of the card, for this here, I wanted to decorate it, and I used the flower medallion with white, and then I used the flourishing die set. I used this one right here in black, and here's my black I already cut out, and I'm going to punch out the flower medallion. And I'm just going to glue this to that. Just put it wherever you want it. And then I'm going to take a glue dot and put this one down. I'm going to use about 3 glue dots on it. Put that in the center. Have it stuck to my finger. And then next I'm going to put on one of these metal rimmed pearls in the annual catalog. And these have a sticky backing on the top, on the back, so you just take it off and stick it on, which is really nice. And it'll help hide those glue dots. See how pretty that makes it look? Now for the clasp on the inside, I have magnets from Basic Gray, and you need to have a plus and a minus. And so I've already got those out for us. Here's the plus, and they have a sticky back also, which is not easy to peel off. Okay, so there's the plus, and you just kind of put it where you want it. Put it right about there. And then I'm going to use a glue dot and stick a piece, just a black circle that I cut out. And that's a 1/2 inch circle that I used with the 1/2 inch punch here. And then I'm going to let the magnet just go where it wants to, and it'll stick right where it needs to. Take the backing off of that one. And what that paper in between does is it helps them not to be so stuck together that you can't open your purse without ripping it. And then you just close your purse, give it a good squeeze, and there you go. Just like that. So it closes right up. And that is the purse. I hope you like it, and I hope you try it. As promised, here's one I did with the Floral Boutique paper, and I thought this turned out gorgeous too. And the note cards are inside here. I used Velcro with this one, and it just doesn't work. They just don't, it's too thick and they don't stick together. So that's why I went with the magnets. And these are the ones I did for this designer series paper. I stamped the inside, and I used the navy cardstock, just like I did with the black on the other one. And each of these have the flowers that match. And this set turned out really pretty. I used baker's twine, and on some of them that I did for the ladies retreat is I put a little bit, a line of a skinny line of the glitter paper, the glimmer paper, the silver, and that really dressed it up. So there are my two clutches, and I hope you like them. And if you have any questions, let me know, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.